There are two types of game companies in this world. There is the capitalist wet dream kind that churn out whatever they think will make them a quick buck, and then there are companies that make games with a genuine spark of inspiration to them. Bioware appears to be the latter, but that is not going to stop me from nitpicking their games to death. I actually played Dragon Age Origins because somebody threw it at me when it first came out. I only played Mass Effect just recently because somebody gave it to me when I was bored to make me go away and stop fighting them. Despite the obvious differences between the two games, they actually feel quite similar when you play them. In fact, when Mass Effect was first described to me, I was told it was like Dragon Age, but a third-person shooter set in the future about space aliens, which seemed like describing the movie Aliens as like My Little Pony, except the ponies sodomize your face and then burst out your chest cavity. However, it turned out to be a fairly accurate description. Both games have you roaming from place to place talking to NPCs with identical bodies, and hair made out of Lego to pick up mini-quests to kill Person X of Faction Y, to collect slightly better equipment to give to your ragtag team of sidekicks who have more ethnic pandering than the Burger King Kids Club, all while trying to thwart the invasion of the evil puppy-kicking army of bad guys who just hate to see people getting along. While both games have an RPG-style inventory and NPC interaction system, in terms of the actual game part of the game, they are quite different. Mass Effect is a third-person tactical shooter with some vehicle combat and a persistent little hacking minigame that you have to play to interact with any object in the game. I had to restart the game 3 times because I kept designing a face that looked great in the character creation screen, but in the game world made my character look like she took the short shuttle to school. The game uses an innovative chat wheel which prods your character to produce character-appropriate dialogue. Generally, it was pretty easy to follow except for the time I accidentally beat a man unconscious with the butt of my gun. At first, I did not care much for the vehicle combat, but I started having significantly more fun when I found out I could simply run most enemies over. As for the actual combat, it was fun, but I kept feeling like I was not quite smart enough to play the game. I never did quite get the hang of group tactics, so the second any combat started, my teammates would stand in the open, then fall down for a quick bullet nap. And even though I was fairly good with my sniper rifle, it was sort of tainted by the fact that the targeting assist function only hits enemies in the crotch. Dragon Age, despite coming out later, actually felt not quite as elegantly designed as Mass Effect. No matter what class you play, you are given literally dozens of different confusing abilities to use, but all combat really just degenerates into a grand melee of don't let the bad guys kill your casters. What makes Dragon Age stand out is the character development of your party members. The party banter your teammates have as you walk around is easily the most entertaining part of the game. In fact, the male love interest of the game was so unbelievably sweet that I actually felt genuinely bad that I had to turn him down when he did not clue into the fact that I was obviously playing for the other team. I did learn, though, that I am actually a huge jerk because every time I coaxed Liliana into a long talk about her shoes, all I could really think was, this will get me into her pants for sure. But as long as I am talking about Dragon Age, what is with its obsession with blood? Even the most brief combat leaves your character splattered with gore, like you just walked out of some R-rated Gallagher show. It is splattered on the box art, the loading screen, and even the map leaves a trail of blood when you travel that made me feel like I was having my period all across Middle-earth. But do not let any of these grievances stop you from playing the games. They are genuinely entertaining and some of the best games I have played this year, and they both have moral challenges with more complexity than the standard finding a box full of abandoned kittens and having to choose between feeding them and eating them. And besides, if you are anything like me, this could be the closest you will ever come to having sex.